The following content is created by DrAvitech. Your support and donation will help me continue to offer high-quality educational resources for free. To make a donation, send an email to 6drcyril@gmail.com or comment donations below.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is the third video of my revision series for University of Benin Postutme Exam 2025. So let us get started. This one is going to be on trigonometry. So I just wrote down some addition and subtraction formula for multiple angles. So that's what we just have there. Let us get started with the first problem. There's no need to waste time. Remember to hit the subscribe button, like this video, and share it across to your classmates. So the first one says, the first question says, if sine A is equal to 4/5 and cos B is 5/13, you're asked to evaluate without using tables or calculator sine A plus B. And the thing about this problem is you need to know how to use Pythagoras theorem. Yeah, but basically, if you already understand it, you can solve this problem much more faster. So I always tell students that I believe when I was I can't remember the exact class, maybe it's either primary 6 or JS2, JS1, JS2, when I did this Pythagoras theorem, and my teacher asked me to go list out so many Pythagorean triples. So if you already understand Pythagorean triples, it should help here, but I'll just pretend as if we do not know it. Now sine A plus B, as you can see, sine A plus B, there's sine A, there's cos B, there's sine B, there's cos A. Now we have only sine A here. We have only sine A, we don't have cos A. So let's find it. Now sine A is equal to 4/5. Remember that sine is opposite over hypotenuse. So opposite is 4, hypotenuse is 5, meaning we need to find adjacent. Now Pythagoras theorem says hypotenuse squared is equal to opposite square plus adjacent squared. So the hypotenuse is 5 because h is at the bottom. So h is 5 squared. Opposite is 4. So that's 4 squared plus a squared. Now 5 squared is 25. Equal 4 squared is 16. And then plus a squared. Now take the 16 to the other side. This will be 25 minus 16 equal to a squared. 25 minus 16 is 9 equal to a squared. Then take the square root. So square root of 9 is equal to a. So a is equal to 3. So you've been able to get the adjacent from that. You've been able to get the adjacent. Now this tells me that if sine A is equal to this, then cos A, cos is normally adjacent over hypotenuse. Now we found the adjacent to be 3. Hypotenuse will remain 5. So this is cos A. So we've been able to get cos A. Next, we're told that cos B is equal to this. So cos B is equal to 5/13. Now the formula for cos tells us that cos is adjacent over hypotenuse. So the adjacent is 5, hypotenuse is 13. The third side that we don't have is the opposite. So let's find it using Pythagoras theorem. So hypotenuse squared is opposite squared plus adjacent squared. The hypotenuse is 13. The opposite is 5. Then, the opposite is what we're looking for. Is the adjacent that is 5. So, 13 squared is 169 equal to opposite squared plus 25. Now take the 25 to the other side. This will be 169 minus 25 equal opposite squared. So this is 144 equal opposite squared. Now to remove this square, we're going to take square root of 144. So this means 12 is equal to O. So that's the opposite. Now, this tells me that sine B, sine from SOHCAHTOA, sine is opposite over hypotenuse. So the opposite is 12. The hypotenuse is what? 13. Now here's the thing. This question, I think they've asked something like this similar to engineering students some years ago. When they asked this, they said that the two angles are acute. So the angle A and angle B are acute. So when the angles are acute, it means they are always positive, because when you have your quadrant, in the quadrant, angles in the first quadrant are acute angles, and they are always giving us positive trig ratios. So we'll learn about this in future examples. So let's assume that they won't give you anyone that the angle is obtuse. If they do, then you need to understand the quadrant to be able to solve that. So let us find sine A plus B. Sine A plus B is sine A cos B plus sine B cos A. So sine A is 4 over 5. Sine cos B is 5 over 13. Plus sine B, sine B is 12 over 13. Then cos A here is 3 over 5. So let's times. 4 times 5 at the top, that's 20. Then 5 times 13 is 65. Plus 12 times 3 is 36. Divided by 13 times 5 is 65. So let's add the top, because if the bottom is the same, so we can add the top. So you add the top, you then get 56 over 65. So that's the answer to that very equation. Let's go to the next one. Remember to hit the subscribe button. Let's go to the next one, number 2. If tan x plus y is equal 4 over 3 and tan x is equal 1 over 2, evaluate tan y. I think they asked this question, something like this too, some years ago. I think it should be maybe 2014. Yeah, they asked something like this. I think it was, let me see if I can remember it. Okay, tan s plus 45 degrees is equal to 2. Then it said, find tan x. Yeah, that was the equation. But let's solve this one. So first of all, the formula for this tan s plus y is the same with this tan a plus b. So tan s plus y can be broken down as tan x plus tan y divided by 1 minus tan x tan y. So this can be broken down as this. And they said it's equal to 4 over 3. So it's equal to 4 over 3. Now we have it that tan s is equal to half. Tan s is equal to what? Half. So this will then become half plus tan y divided by 1 minus half tan y. So this is equal to 4 over 3. That's equal to 4 divided by 3. Okay. So here's what I want to do. This is a fraction. This is a fraction. So what I want to do is, okay, I want to multiply up and down by 2. So I want to times here by 2 and also times here by 2. When I do this, the equation will still be the same because 2 can cancel out 2. So the equation will still be the same because 2 can cancel out 2, which is 1. So the equation is still the same. So 2 times this will give us 2 times half is 1 plus 2 times this will give us 2 tan y divided by 2 times 1 is 2 minus 2 times tan, this half tan y will give us tan y. So as you can see, the fraction is gone. Then equal to 4 over 3. So I can choose to use that. Approach. So it's still the same. So let's cross multiply now. So this will times this will times this. So this is 3 times this. That's 3 into 1 plus 2 tan y equal to this will times 4. So that's 4 into 2 minus tan y. So 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times 2 is 6. So this is 6 tan y. Equal 4 times 2 is 8. The 4 times is minus 4 tan y. Now all of the tan y, bring it to one side. So this is 6 tan y. If this minus 4 tan y comes out, it's going to become plus 4 tan y. Equal to this is 8. If this 3 comes out, it's going to become minus 3. Funny answer. Funny answer. Now 6 tan y plus 4 tan y is 10 tan y. Equal to 8 minus 3 is 5. So this means that tan y would then become, divide both sides by 10. That's 5 over 10. So tan y is equal to half. That's a funny answer. It's still the same half. Anyway, it happens like that sometimes. So tan y is also equal to what? Half. Let's go to number 3. Now, this is question number 3. Ideally, you are supposed to put in the values of tan 60, put in the value of tan 30, and then you simplify the sod because we're going to be having a sod at the end of the day. But that's going to be tricky. Here's why. I kind of know that the pattern, this pattern is looking like this pattern. There's tan 60 minus tan 30, then 1 plus tan 60 tan 30. This means that A is 60 and B is 30. So this can be simplified as tan 60 minus 30. Following this, because this looks exactly like this. There are times where they bring out trick questions like this, but be very careful. Sometimes it's not a trick question. Sometimes you just need to put in the value of tan 60, value of tan 30, and just like that. There are times like that. Now, this is tan 60 minus 30 is 30. Now, tan 30 is root 3 over 3. So that will be the answer to the question. So like I said, it's just like a trick question. So that's the answer to the question. Number 4. So this is question 4. It says, if 4 sine squared theta minus 3 is equal to 0, where 0 degrees is less than theta, less than 90. Solve for theta. Now, this tells me that the angle is in the first quadrant. And if the angle is in the first quadrant, every answer I'm going to be getting is going to be positive. So let's get started with solving this. So this is 4 sine squared theta minus 3 equal to 0. So this will be 4 sine squared theta. If this minus 3 goes over, it's going to become plus 3. Now, the next now is to divide by 4. So I'll say sine squared theta is equal to 3 all over 4. Then to remove this square, I'm going to take square root. So this will be sine theta equal to the square root of 3 over 4. So this will become sine theta equals square root of 3 divided by square root of 4. I can separate the square root. So this is sine theta equal root 3 all over 2. Now, if you know special angles very well, sine of what angle will give us root 3 over 2? What angle will you take its sine to give you root 3 over 2? It's 60. So theta is equal to 60 degrees. So that's just your answer. But assuming this equation involves other quadrants, when I was taking my square root here, I will put plus or minus. When I was taking my square root here. But because it does not involve it, no need to stress myself. So the answer to the question is just 60. Let's go to question 5. Question 5 says, find x such that sine 3x minus 18 is equal cos 39. So the first thing you need to know is this. Sine and cosine, their angles are complementary. Sine and cosine, their angles are complementary. Complementary in the sense that they add up to 90 degrees. So you don't need to stress yourself. All you need to do is to say this plus this. So this will be 3x minus 18 degrees plus 39 degrees equal to 90. That's the meaning of complementary. So this and this will add up to 90 degrees. Now this will be 3x. What was 18 minus? Sorry, what was 39 minus 18? That's looking like 21. Equal to 90. Okay. I think I want to divide every single thing by 3. That's a better way. Divide every single thing by 3. So this will be x plus 7 degrees equal to 30 degrees. So this is s equal 30 degrees. If this guy goes, it's going to become minus 7 degrees. So s is equal to 23 degrees. Okay. So s will be 23 degrees. Did I do this well? Let me see. 39 minus 18. Okay. So let's go on to the next question, number 6. Question 6 says, a man on a cliff 40 meters high finds that the angle of depression of a boat on the sea is 30 degrees. You're asked to find the distance of the boat from the foot of the cliff. Okay, so I love to think of a cliff as a very high point where people jump from to enter the river. I don't know if you've seen some videos where you see people jumping from a very high place, they're coming down and entering into the river or whatever. So that's like a cliff. So let's kind of put, for some reason, let's kind of put the man here. So this is the man. Okay, no, let me do it like this. I think this is better. Oh, no, that's... Okay, so let's say that's the man, like the eye of the man. So let's say this is the eye of the man. So the man is on a cliff of 40-meter high. So this is the man, 40 meters high. The cliff is 40-meter high. Find out that the angle of depression. First of all, this man, we have the ground here. This is the ground. The eyesight of this man will be in the same plane. Will be in the same plane as this ground. Then he notices that the angle of depression, so he was looking down. There was a boat somewhere. He was looking down. There was a boat. So the angle of depression, so the 40 degrees is right here. So this is where the 40 degrees would be. Then the boat was here. So this is our boat. Okay, sorry, 30 degrees, not 40. So we have 30 degrees. Okay. Then the question is, find the distance of the boat from the foot of the cliff. So this is the boat, this is the cliff. So this is the foot of the cliff. So you have to find BF, boyfriend. Okay. So this is 30 degrees. First of all, we could bring the 30 into the triangle because the 30 has to be here. The reason is angle of elevation and depression are equal. So the angle has to be here. Now, if the 30 degrees is here, the side opposite to it, we call this side the opposite. The side facing 90, this is hypotenuse. Then this will be the adjacent. So we're asked to find the adjacent because the adjacent is the BF or FB Facebook. So this is very adjacent here. We have adjacent is what we're looking for. Then we have opposite. From Socrates, which trig ratio contains A and O? That's tan. So tan theta is equal opposite over adjacent. So this is tan 30 degrees. The opposite to that 30 degrees is 40 meters. Then the adjacent is the BF that we're looking for, or the FB. So right now, I can flip this. I can take the BF to this side and take tan 30 here. So this will then become... you know what? Okay, let me just do it like that. So this is BF equal 40 meters divided by tan 30 degrees. So this is 40 meters divided by tan 30 is 1 over root 3. If you notice, I did not use the rationalized form here because it's at the denominator, so I don't want to do that. So this is 1 over root 3. So if you have 40 over 1 over root 3, the root 3 will come to the top. So this is now 40 root 3 meters. So this is the distance. That's your answer. So this will be your answer to that very question. Let's go to question number 7. So question 7 says we should solve for A within that range. And the equation is 2 minus 4 cos squared A. Okay, here's the thing. This one, the interval here, suggests that we should find the value of A in all parts of the circle. So it's going to be a tedious work. Let's get started. So first of all, let's solve the equation. So this is 2 minus 4 cos squared A equal to 0. This will be minus 4 cos squared A equal to minus 2. You pick the 2 to the other side. Then divide both sides by minus 4. So this will be cos squared A equal to 1 over 2. So remove square, you take the square root. So this will be cos A equal to the square root of 1 over 2. Put a plus or a minus. So this will become cos A equal plus or minus square root of 1 over square root of 2. So this is cos A equal plus or minus 1 over root 2. Now, this 1 over root 2 here is same thing as root 2 over 2 when you rationalize. It's the same thing as root 2 over 2. So cosine of what angle will give you root 2 over 2? Cosine of what angle is going to be what? 45 degrees. It's the cosine of 45 degrees that will give you 1 over root 2 or root 2 over 2. So this means A is equal to 45 degrees. But take note, this part, this is when A is in the what? First quadrant, because this value here is from 0 to 360. The 45 we just got is only in the 0 to 90 quadrant. Now let's find another value of A. Remember that the cos A here is positive and negative, so we're dealing with the positive first. So we've been able to get the first positive answer. But if you are dealing with this guy, your quadrant ASTC, all students take Coke. This A means all the quadrants are positive. Sorry, all the trig ratios are positive. This one means only sine is positive. This one means only tan is positive. This one means only cosine is positive. This is 0. This is 90. This is 180. And this is 270. Then slash 360. So cosine will be positive here because every single thing is positive here. Then cosine would also be positive here. Now to get the angle here, in that third quadrant, so the acute angle in the third quadrant is always equal to 360 minus theta. It's always. So now the acute angle we had was 45. So 45 degrees equals 360 degrees minus theta. So move your theta to this side. This will be theta equals 360 degrees minus 45 degrees. So theta is equal to 315. So it means the next value for A is 315. You can try it out with your calculator since you have one. What is the cosine of 315? You'll be getting plus this, the positive part. Now let's talk about the negative part. Cosine will be negative here and also negative here. I've used more than enough board that I need for that equation. Okay. So in the second quadrant, the acute angle in the second quadrant is equal to 180 degrees minus theta. Now the acute angle we had was 45 degrees equal 180 minus theta. So move your theta to this very side. This will be theta equal 180 degrees minus 45 degrees. So theta is 135 degrees. So the next value for A is 135 degrees. Next, the third quadrant. Now the acute angle in the third quadrant is equal to theta minus 180 degrees. So the acute angle we had was 45 equals theta minus 180 degrees. So take the minus 180 to the other side. This will be 45 degrees plus 180 equal to theta. So this is 225 equal to theta. Finally, let me write out all the answers for A. So A is equal to 45 degrees, 315 degrees. It's also equal to 135 degrees and 225 degrees. So this is what it means to find the value of A in all quadrants. That's the meaning. But basically what they always do for you is, they don't really ask you guys to find all quadrants. Maybe just half of it. So let's move on to the next question. Question 8 says the lengths of the sides of a right angle triangle are y meter, 3y minus 1 meter, and 3y plus 1 meter. You're asked to find y. And when you're given a question like this, the first thing you want to determine is which of them is the hypotenuse. Because it's a right angle triangle, so Pythagoras theorem is going to work. So which of them is the hypotenuse? This will be the hypotenuse because this is 3y. First of all, this y that is standing alone is going to be smaller than 3y. So we have 3y here, we have 3y here. But this one has minus 1. This one has plus 1. So this one is bigger. So what is Pythagoras theorem? The square of the longest side, 3y plus 1 squared, is equal to the sum of these other squares. So we're going to say y squared plus 3y minus 1 squared. That's Pythagoras theorem. Now what we're going to do next is to open up our brackets. So this is 3y. There's a faster way to open up squares. So here's what I will do. 3y, I'm going to square 3y. So this will give me 9y squared. Next, I'm going to multiply everything. 3y times 1 is 3y. 3y times 2 is 6y. Then I'm going to square 1. 1 squared is 1. And this is equal to y squared plus, let me square this one. 3y squared is 9y squared. Next, I'm going to multiply everything. 3y times minus 1 is minus 3y. Minus 3y times 2 is minus 6y. And I'm going to square this minus 1. Minus 1 squared is plus 1. To save myself some stress, 9y squared and 9y squared will cancel out. Plus 1 and plus 1 will cancel out. Anyhow you want to do it, it's still going to cancel out. So what's remaining is 6y equal y squared minus 6y. So take this minus 6y to this other side. So this will be 6y plus 6y equal to y squared. Now, 6y plus 6y is 12y equal to y squared. Now, divide both sides by 12. So this is 12y over 12 equal to y squared over, divide both sides by y, sorry. So y we cancel out y, so 12 is equal to y. But take note, if you notice, this is not a good way to get the value of y. This is not a good way to get the value of y because it's a quadratic expression. So you have to factorize, but I just skip that process. Here is y. The second value of y is going to be 0. Second value of y is going to be 0 if you actually do this thing the right way. But y cannot be 0. Y cannot be 0. That's why I did not just bother about that. I just went ahead to do this very one. Otherwise, I would have taken this 12y to this other side and use factorization. But it's still the same. So this is the value of y. Now, if they say find the hypotenuse, take this value of y and put it into this expression to get the value of y. Let us solve the next question. This is question 9. A ladder resting on a vertical wall makes an angle whose tangent is 2.5 with the ground. If the distance between the foot of the ladder and the wall is 60 cm, what is the length of the ladder? So first of all, this is a wall. A wall is always straight. So the wall would obviously be standing on the ground. So this is the ground. The ladder is always slant. Ladder is always slant. So you have something like this. Now they said that the ladder, this ladder, is making up an angle. So let me put the angle here, theta. So it's making up an angle here, theta. Next, the distance between the foot of the ladder, so this is the foot of the ladder here, and the wall, this is the wall, is 60 cm. So this will be 60 cm. Then the question is, what is the length of the ladder? So you're asked to find this very place. You're asked to find this very place. So let me call this, let me call it L. Let me just call it L. Let me call it L. Okay. So let's solve this very problem. The thing is, this problem is too bad. It's too bad in the essence that we're not given what theta is. We're only told that theta is 2.5. We're only told that the tangent is 2.5. Because to solve this problem, we have the hypotenuse, and this is the adjacent, because this part is the opposite, but there's no information here. So we're only using adjacent and hypotenuse. But whenever you're talking about tan, tan is opposite over what? Over adjacent. That's what tan is. But let's solve this problem. I think I have a better way to solve it. So let's first of all find the opposite. Let's find the opposite. Let me call it x. Let's find the opposite, because tan is opposite over adjacent. So let's use this. So tan theta is equal to opposite over adjacent. So this is tan. The tan theta, they said that the tangent of the angle is 2.5. So this will be 2.5 equal, opposite is x, then adjacent is 60. So put over 1 here. This will times x, then 2.5 will times 60. So x will then become 2 times 60 is 120. Is 120. Then half of 60 is 30. So this will be 150. So that's 150 centimeter. Like I said, this is actually very, 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 very funny. So this part now is 150. So this is 150 centimeter. Now we can use what's the name? We can use Pythagoras theorem to get the value of hypotenuse. So we know that hypotenuse squared, or L squared, let me put it like that. Hypotenuse squared is opposite squared plus adjacent squared. Okay, so this will be h squared equal. There's something I want to do. Because the numbers are very, very big. There's something I want to do. Let me divide this by, let me divide it by 30. Let me divide this by 30. Let me divide it by 30. So if I divide here by 30, I'm going to be getting 5. If I divide it by 20, I'm going to be getting 2. So this is what I'm going to be using. You would understand. This is what I'm going to be. I'm going to be using 5 and 2. So the opposite is 5. So this will be 5 squared. The adjacent is 2. So this will be 2 squared. So h squared is equal to 25 plus 4. So h squared is equal 29. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to be doing is h will become the square root of 29. But remember that I divided by 30 before. I divided by 30. So this means that the length of the ladder will become 30 root 29 centimeter. That's the answer. Honestly speaking, I think this question, just leave it. I don't think the university that I trust that can bring this very question is University of Ibadan. Yeah, I trust that, yeah, they can bring this one out. But University of Benin, their wickedness not reach like this. So that's just it. So that would be the answer to the question. You can see how I manipulated my way through. That's basically how we do it. So this will be all for number 9. Let's go to number 10. Now here's question number 10. It says find the equivalent expression to cos 2a. Basically, I kind of feel like the options will determine how you're going to solve this very problem, because cos 2a can be written in either terms of sine or in terms of cosine. So the first thing you need to know that cos 2a is same as cos a plus a, because a plus a will give you 2a. So since a plus a will give us 2a, we can then use this our formula that has a plus b. So instead of us having a plus b, we'll then be having a plus a. So anywhere we see b, we're going to be putting a. So that means this is cos a minus sine a. So it's like we're doing double angles. So that's what it's going to be. I'm just following this formula at the top. So now sorry, this is supposed to be a. Cos a, this will be cos squared a. Then sine a is sine squared a. So that's a way to write it. But we can simplify it further, because we need to recall that sine squared theta plus cos squared theta is always equal to 1. So this means that if you want to find cos squared theta, this is going to be 1 minus sine squared theta. Also, if you want to find sine squared theta, this is 1, then this cos comes, minus cos squared theta. So right now, back to our equation. So cos 2a is equal cos squared a minus sine squared a. So cos squared a, this is the value of cos squared. So this will become 1 minus sine squared a. The angle is now a, not theta. The angle is a, not theta. And then minus sine squared a. So this will then become 1 minus, these two things are the same, so that's double of itself, sine squared a. So this is a way to write the expression. That's one way to write the expression. Another way is to say cos 2a, which is equal cos squared a minus sine squared a. Cos squared a, you will leave it. So this is cos squared a minus. Now sine squared a, you can remove it and then write what sine squared a would be. So our angle is now a. So this is 1 minus cos squared a. 1 minus cos squared a. So this is cos squared a minus 1. Minus times minus will give me plus cos squared a. And then cos squared a plus cos squared a is 2 cos squared a minus 1. So there are different expressions. So you can either see this one that has only sine in the exam, or this one that has only cosine. So the option would determine. The option would what? The option would determine the answer for that. Okay. Next question. So question 11 says find sine 15 degrees. Yeah, in the exam sometimes they've given questions like sine 15, sine 75, and the cosine of it or the tan of it. So you can be given any of this. That's where the usefulness of this comes in. So I'm going to only do the sine 15. Now, sine 15 degrees. We know that 15 degrees is not a special angle. 15 is not a special angle. But can we write this in terms of the sum or a difference? Because we either have an addition or a subtraction. So either a sum or a difference. So can we write this in terms of a sum or a difference of two other special angles? Yes. Are there two special angles that you will minus to give you 15? Of course. So this is sine 15 is 45 degrees minus 30 degrees. So that's what it is. It's 45 minus 30 will give you 15. So now we're going to be using this formula that has minus. So our A will become 45, B will become 30. So this will become sine 45 degrees cos 30 minus sine 30 degrees cos 45 degrees, following the formula. So now, sine 45 is root 2 over 2, cos 30 is root 3 over 2, minus sine 30 is 1 over 2, cos 45 is root 2 over 2. Now, if you times the top, root 2 times root 3 is root 6 over 2 times 2 is 4. 1 times root 2 is root 2, then 2 times 2 is 4. Now, denominator is the same, so this is root 6 minus root 2, everything over 4. So that will be the answer for sine 15. They've asked this question before. Now, what if it was sine 75? Sine 75 will become 45 plus 30. 45 plus 30 is 75. So that's what you're going to use to solve that one. Let's go to the next question. So this is question 12. It says, given that sine theta is 5 over 13, you're asked to find the value of this. Okay, this is a whole lot. But to start with, sine theta is 5 over 13. Using Pythagoras theorem, I'm going to skip a step here because we've done something similar to this in question number 1. Yeah, because question number 1, I said cos B is 5 over 13. So we've done something similar. So sine theta is 5 over 13. I know that sine is opposite over hypotenuse. So opposite is 5, hypotenuse is 13. So what's the adjacent? Adjacent is 12. We've done something like this before. So adjacent is what? 12. You can use the Pythagoras theorem to find it. So let me just end there. Now this sec square theta, first of all, we have what we call the inverse trig ratios. What we call the inverse trig ratios. So the first one is cosec. Cosec theta is 1 over sine theta. Sec theta is 1 over cos theta. Then cot theta is 1 over tan theta. So they are inverses. So right now, this sec we have here is 1 over cos. So let's find cos first of all. So cos theta, from SOHCAHTOA, cos is adjacent over hypotenuse. So that means cosine will become, adjacent is 12. So this will be 12 all over what? 13. Now sec theta is the inverse of this. Now this is a fraction already. If you take the inverse of this, you're going to flip the fraction. If you take the reciprocal, so you're going to have 13 over what? 12. Now the equation says sec squared. So let's square it. Sec squared theta. That will become 169 over 144 when you square it. That's what it means by squaring it. Okay. So that's for this part. Let's keep it. Now cot is 1 over tan. So let's find tan. Tan theta, from the formula, tan is opposite over adjacent. Now the opposite is 5. Then adjacent is what? 12. So that's what tan is. So this means that cot theta, cot is the reciprocal of tan, or the inverse of it. Please, do not be confused. There are different inverses. Before someone will come and say that this one is, I don't want to go into that though. So if you take the reciprocal of this or the inverse of this, the 12 will go up, 5 will come down. So this will be 12 all over 5. All right. Now let's start with the numerator. I love doing my things little by little. So the numerator first, because this is a fraction. So I want to do the numerator, keep my answer. Do the denominator, keep my answer. So numerator is 2 minus sec square theta. So this is 2 minus sec square theta has been solved and is 169 over 144. Now this is simple LCM. This is simple LCM. So put over 1 here, take the LCM. This will give 144, 288 minus 169. It's a simple LCM. So I just did 144 divided by 1 is 144. 144 times 2 is 288. The 144 over 144 is 1. 1 times 169 is 169. Now when you do this subtraction, I think you'll be getting 117 Okay, let me just do it. Or 119, around that range. So this is 288 over, okay, minus 168. Let me do it like this first of all. So this will be 120. So yeah, it's 119 divided by 144. So that's for that. Then 1 plus cot, which is the denominator. So this is 1 plus cot theta. So this is 1 plus 12 over 5. Now this will be giving us 17 over 5. I know I kind of just take the LCM. We're going to be getting 17 over 5 because, well, let me write this 12 over 5 very well. So this is 12 all over 5. When you take LCM here, the same I've done here, you're going to get 17 over 5. So let's proceed. The expression, you have numerator divided by denominator. So the numerator is 119 all over 144 divided by denominator is 17 over 5. So this is 119 all over 144 times 5 will go up. So this is 5 all over 17. So we can cancel out. 7 here is 1. 7 here is 7. So what's going to be left to become 7 times 5? So that would then be giving us 35 over 144. So that's the answer to that very equation. Yeah, that's the answer to that very equation. I believe I divided well. So let's go to question 13. So this is question 13. It says that a square tile measures 20 cm by 20 cm. How many of such tiles will cover a floor measuring 5 meter by 5 meter? So this question is talking about area. Actually, it's talking about area. You're asked to cover up an area. So what we're going to do is this. We're going to say, what is the area of the room? So we're going to know the area of the full room. Then the tiles we are putting, what is the area of one tile? What's the area of one tile? So first of all, area of room will become 5 meter times 4 meter. But take note that the square tile has centimeter. So let's convert this one to centimeter. So this will be 500 centimeter, 400 centimeter. What's the conversion here? The conversion is 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeter. So I think I'm going to leave my answer like this. Let me not stress myself. That's my answer. Then area of the tile will become 20 cm by 20 cm. I'm also going to be leaving it like this. I don't want to do anything. So right now, the number of tiles that I need will become area of the room divided by the area of the tile. So the area of the room is 500 centimeter times 400 centimeters divided by 20 centimeters times 20 centimeters. Now, if you take a look at this, all of the cm cancels. 20 times 20 is 400. So this will cancel out. So the answer to this will be 500 tiles. Yeah, that's just what you're going to be getting. So let's move on to question 14. Question 14 says the angle of a sector of a circle with radius 10.5 cm is 48 degrees. Calculate the perimeter of the sector. All right. So first of all, what I'm going to do here is a sector is like this. This is what a sector is. So the perimeter of a sector is the radius is 2 radii. So we have arrow plus arrow and then plus length of the arc. So that's what it is. So perimeter is 2 arrow, 2 radii plus the arc you have. So this is equal to 2 arrow plus length of an arc is theta over 360 degrees times 2 pi radius. So 2 arrow, this means 2 times 10.5 because that's the radius plus 48 over 360 degrees times 2 times 22 over 7 times 10.5 centimeters. Now in the exam, there will be calculators obviously, but if you can do this without calculator, no problem. So first of all, 2 times 10.5 is 21. So this is 21 plus, okay, so here's what I want to do. This 10.5 here is the same thing as 21 over 2. And I know that 2 times this will give me 21. So 21 and this 7. 7 here is 1. 7 into this is 3. It's 3. So what we'll be having left to become, okay, let me do this so that it will not be confusing before I use my manipulations to confuse you guys. Okay, but I really do need to cancel. So first of all, this 10.5 here, let me write it as 21 over 2. 21 over 2. Yeah. So 2 we cancel out 2. I can do this one. You agree. Good. 7 here is 1. 7 into this is 3. I can do this one. You agree. 3 here is 1. 3 into this is 120. I can do this one. You agree, Abby? Okay. Good. This 22 here, 2 here is 11. 2 into this is 60. I can do this, right? You agree, right? Good. This 48 and this 60, 12 is common between them. 12 is common between them. So 12 here is 4. 12 into the 60 is 5. So what will be left to them become 11 over 5, because there's only, there's 4 here. 4 times 11, so that's 44. Then for the bottom, only 5 is left. Okay, so this is 21 plus. Now, 44 over 5, 8.8. Because it's not up to 9. Assuming it was 45. 45 over 5 is 9. So it's not up to, so that's why it's 8.8. So when you add this up, you'll be getting 29.8 centimeters. So that would be the perimeter of the sector, 29.8. Good. So let's move on to the next question. This question says there are 6 men and 7 women. In how many ways can a committee of 4 members be formed in such a way that a particular man is always excluded? Now, for this one, it's actually very simple. First of all, if a particular man is always excluded, that means they don't even have 6 men, they have only 5 men to start with. What is available is 5 men because a particular man is always excluded. So let's just remove him since he is always excluded. So he's gone. So we're going to say the available people will be 5 men and 7 women. What's wrong with this marker? Okay, so that's what's available. Now, in how many ways can we make a committee of 4 members? So we need to form a committee that will have 4 people. Now, there are different ways of doing this. So the first way is, let's have 4 men. Let's just make up the committee and only have 4 men. We can do that. The second way, let's have 3 men and 1 woman. We can also do this one. The third possible way is to have 2 men and 2 women. Good. The fourth way of doing this, is to say 1 man and 3 women. I think I'm going to change this marker. Then the last way is to say, let us have 4 women. So these are all the ways we can do them. These are all the ways we can do them. So these are all the ways we can do them. So let's just start doing our combination therapy. Okay. Yeah. So let's start with the 4 men. So we know that we have 5 men, right? So this will be 5 combination 4. That will be 5 combination 4. And following the combination formula, this will be 5. Okay, where would I be writing? Let me write it here. Hopefully, I won't use this part. So 5 combination 4. This is 5 factorial over 4 factorial, 1 factorial. That's the formula. So this will be 5 times 4 factorial divided by 4 factorial. This will cancel this out, so that's 5. For this next one, you have 3 men, but what's available is 5, but you need 3 men. So this will be 5 combination 3 times, we have 1 woman. We need 1 woman here, but there are 7. So this will be 7 combination 1. Okay, now for 5 combination 3, that should be 10. So this is 5 combination 3. So this will be 5 factorial over 3 factorial. Then 5 minus 3 is 2 factorial. Now 5 factorial is 5 times 4 times 3 factorial divided by 3 factorial times 2 factorial is just 2. So this will cancel this out. 2 here is 1. 2 into 4 is 2. So 5 times 2 is 10. So this will be 10 times 7 combination 1 is just 7, following the same formula. You have to save myself some time. Following the same formula is going to give us 7. Okay. Now, you need 2 men, but we have 5 men available. So that's 5 combination 2 times 7 combination 2. Now, 5 combination 2 would also be 10. 7 combination 2. 5 is gone. 6 to 21. That's what you're going to be getting. That's 21. Then the next one, you need 1 man, but what's available is 5 men. So this is 5 combination 1 times 7 combination 3. Because for the women, we have 7 women available, but we need only 3. Now 5 combination 1 is 5 times 7 combination 3. That's 4. So if that's 4, 6, 2, 70. But let me just confirm that. Let me just confirm it. 7 combination 3. This is 7 factorial, 4 factorial, 3 factorial. So this will be 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 factorial divided by 4 factorial times 3 factorial is 6. So this will cancel this out, this and this. That's 35. It's not to 70, 35. Okay. Then 4 women. These are 7 women. So 7 combination 4. 7 combination 4 is same thing as 7 combination 3. So this is also 35. So the answer to this question will be the sum of all of these products. So our answer will then become 5 plus 10 times 7 is 70 plus 10 times 21 is 210, then plus 5 times 35. Okay, so let's see. This is 50 first. So if this is 50, 150 plus 25, 175. Let me just see. 35, 5. So this is 5 carried 2. This is 15. Yeah, 175. And then plus 35. Okay, so let's add all of this up. Why is this looking weird? Let me check this 7 combination 2. Something is not just 7 combination 2. So this will be 7 factorial over 5 factorial 2 factorial. So this is 7 times 6 times 5 factorial all over 5 factorial times 2. Sorry, 3. So that's 21. Yeah. Why is it doing me as if? Let me check this 7 combination 4. If this is 4. Yeah, that's what we are still going to get. This is doing me one kind. Anyway, let us get the value of this. If I add these two things up, 170 plus 30 is 200. So this is 210. 210 plus 210 is 420. 420 plus 70 is 490. Plus 5 is 495. So the answer is 495 ways. That will be the answer to the equation. Okay. Let's go to number 16. Question 16 says, in how many ways can the letters of the word progression be arranged? This one is easy. You've done this one during JAMB. So it's easy. It's easy. So what I'm going to do here is, how many letters do I have here? This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So this is 11 factorial over, let's count the repetition. So this is arrow. I have 1, 2. There are 2 arrows in this expression. So that's 2 factorial. Then let's go to S. There are 2 S in this expression. 2 factorial. Let's go to O. This is O and this is O. So that is 2 factorial again. Then I don't think there's another one. So this is 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, so that will be the answer to the equation. Let's move on to question 17. In how many ways can 8 students be awarded 3 prizes such that no student receives more than 1 prize? Now, there's just a very simple way to do this. There's just a very simple way to do this. Now, the first prize, let's say that's the first position. When you want to get the first position, that first prize, what's the possibility? Or how many persons do we have? We have 8 people. We have 8 choices. We have 8 people to choose from. So there are 8 ways to get the first prize. Now, second prize, Because one person has already taken the first prize, that means there are now 7 people remaining. So that means we have 7 choices or 7 people to choose from. Then the third prize will definitely be 6, because from this 7 person, 1 person has gone again, so that will now become 6. So the answer will become 8 times 7 times 6. So this will give us, this is 42. 42 times 8. So 42 times 4 first of all. This will give us 816. Double this up. This will give us 6133. Yeah, I think that's what it should be. 336. Yeah, so there are 336 ways to do that. Let's go to question 18. I'm beginning to think that I'm talking very fast. So let me calm down a little bit. So once to evaluate this, I can tell you for a fact that if you see this question, to you are like, oh, this is actually somehow. But please know that if you see anything in this position, this is combination actually. This thing you see is same as 8 combination 6. It's the same as 8 combination 6. There was a time Uniben gave a question like this. This was how they wrote the equation when Uniben gave it. They said n combination, no, not n combination 2. n2 equal to 45. Then they said find n. Yeah, that was how they wrote the equation. The students were saying 2 times 45, 90, so n is 90. That's not how. That thing there, oh, I didn't even include that question. Anyway, since it's in the past question, anybody can find the solution to that. So, or you can comment what is the solution to this, so that I will just drop the solution. So this is 8 combination 6. So this will be 8 factorial divided by 6 factorial. Then 8 minus 6 is 2 factorial. Now 8 factorial is 8 times 7 times 6 factorial divided by 6 factorial. Then this 2 factorial is 2. 6 factorial will cancel out 6 factorial. 2 here is 1. 2 into 8 is 4. So 4 times 7 is 28. So that will give us what? 28. Let's go to question 19. Question number 19. Calculate the percentage profit. Question 19 says calculate the percentage profit on a sale of a television initially bought for $1,200 but sold for $3,000. So first, for percentage profit is the profit you made divided by the original cost of that thing times 100%. And the profit is this minus this. So if you look at this, what's the profit? How much extra did you think the person has made? The extra is 1,800, because 3,000 minus 1 is 1,800. Then the cost price is 1,200 times 100%. Now these 2 zeros will cancel out these 2 zeros here. 6 can go. 6 here. 6 into 18 is 3. 6 here will give us 2. Now 2 here is 1. 2 into 100 is 50. So 3 times 50 is 150. So the gain was 150%. That's the gain. So it's 150%. Question 20. Question 20 says, find the selling price of a goat costing 80,000 naira if the owner made a loss of 25%. So here's the thing. The goat cost 80,000 naira. But after the owner sold it, the owner made a loss of 25%. So let's think of it this way. There are different ways to think of this question. So first of all, the original cost of everything in life, or the cost of something, is 100%. But if you made a loss, of 25%, that means you've sold that very thing at 75% its cost. That's the meaning. Because something is originally 100. You then made loss, so you lose something. So 100 minus 25 is 75. So this was what you made. This was the error. So our selling price would then become 75% is 75 over 100 times our cost price is 80,000. Now this will give us 3 over 4. Yeah, times 80,000. Now 4 here is 1. 4 into 8 is 2. So this is 20,000. Now 3 times 20,000 is 60,000. So this would be the cost price of, this will be the selling price, sorry. So something of 80,000, the person sold it for 60,000. So the person made a loss. So that will be all for this very video. I urge you to share this very video to every single person you know. Share this very video to every single person you know. Then every single topic I've treated Go back and take a look at the question. For example, there's a question here that I didn't treat. I skipped it because it looks very easy. It was about rectangles. So they were like, the length of a rectangle is 3 times the width. If the area of the rectangle is so, you'll get a quadratic expression. But that's actually simple because it's in jam pass question. So take a look at these topics again. Take a look at them again, solve some problems, and I wish you success in your exam. Thank you very much for watching this very video. I'll see you in the next one.